I love it now that it tells you that. You can't hide from that at all. Okay, I'll just pull up my PowerPoint here. So I'm going to start actually with, I'm going to ask, in tradition of our club, we have a beautiful frame charter, and I'm going to ask Bryce to take over.
Hello, how are you?
There you are.
Hope everyone's all good. Thank you everybody for coming in today. This is super awesome and exciting as we start our new year here with Keith now taking over here as president and mentoring me to follow in his footsteps. Boy, it feels like so far from now. But anyway, it's still it's a lot sooner than we think. So again, I want to welcome Keith in as president and thank him for stepping up. We're super excited to see how things work this year and your vision and your goals that we're going to give you a hand with accomplishing and so on and so forth. So I'm going to present the plaque. Shazam, there we go. Oh, it's reflection. Let's try that. There, that's better. So this is the frame plaque that Tammy was referring to, and I'm presenting this to you. If there was a little slide, yeah, if we had two of these, it would work really good. I could just send that through the screen.
That's right. Yeah.
Awesome.
And yes, so that is now yours, and I guess I'll hold on to it for you.
Good idea. Yeah, because I can pass it back to you next year. So it's
exactly. We're gonna get two of these made so we can do this.
So it can look
kind of coolish. Where you can like pass it through the screen, and I can go like that. Yeah. And then there's also, of course, the gavel and the bell as well too that are here. And so whenever you want to pop in and run a meeting from here, we'll give you the official podium and gavel, and you can knock things over and ring that bell and
Nice.
make it all official. So I think that's about it. I think that's what you require from me. I didn't really prepare a big speech or anything like that, and I'm not too sentimental. I don't get tears or anything, so I'll work on that though for later. But congratulations and thank you so much.
Thank you, Bryce. That's exactly what we want. Something
awesome.
I just wanted to explain about the items that Bryce was referring to. When Peter first saw Bryce's studio, he got so excited thinking, okay, this is the home where all these things should be. And really, as far as the certificate goes, the framed one, it gets beat up when you ship it around. A lot of the names got knocked off and I had to replace everything last year, pretty much about half of them. So it's all up to date with ending with me. We'll add Keith's name this year at some point, and it's a better idea to leave it in one spot. We know where it's at, we know it's safe, and that was the whole idea. So thank you.
Well, I really like it, like just being able to follow the history of the club, you know, with Elly and then Bruce and Doug and James, and like going down, it's really interesting to see just that flow, and then this is really important. So
I just think it's really wonderful that we have that tradition. So thank you guys for keeping that safe, because I think it's really important over the years to have that kind of record.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah,
and in fact, we might be able to do that next month, Bryce.
That's right.
I'm planning to be in Alberta starting the
11th
of August. So maybe for the next one, I might come up and be there
we
together.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Hands
All
down.
right.
Awesome.
That's fantastic. Okay, so I'm going to just share the screen here. I'm going to start a little PowerPoint presentation for some awards that we're going to hand out this morning. I was hoping David would be here, but he's not. Did that come up?
Yeah,
we got
beautiful laptop screen. Yeah, or desktop screen. Yeah, perfect.
Okay, so what happened there?
That's not what you wanted to share, I take it.
No, that's not what I wanted to share.
I think you need to have your document open, right?
I do.
Nothing incriminating, so you're okay, Tammy.
There we go.
There, closing.
See that now?
Yeah, closing.
Closing. Bye.
Well, that was a nice event, guys. Good to see everybody.
Let's
see you all later.
Start here. All right.
There we go. Way to go, Tammy.
All right. So this is obviously the presentation just happened. I'm going to start off with some perfect attendance certificates. We have several members in our club who, and remember that perfect attendance is not necessarily attending every weekly meeting. It's submitting makeups for a lot of other events and meetings that occur through the year. So, you know, it's easy to get perfect attendance if you just simply fill out those makeup forms or let us know. We've really been striving to get, and we have about probably close to half the club that usually achieves this status. So first off, Sharon Blaker, we're going in alphabetical order. Congratulations, Sharon.
Thank you.
Elly, of course, there's nobody in our club that's, no, let me rephrase that. Between Elly and Jim Ferguson, I spend a good chunk of time every week filling in all their makeups for everything they're involved with.
So Elly is okay for perfect attendance to the year 2035. Is that what you're suggesting?
Yes, that's right. Yes, they don't need to put any in for them. And even though last year Jim was district governor, I should point that out. We could technically give him a certificate as well, because we gave him credit for all of the functions he was doing as the district governor. Nobody attended. What did you say, Jim? 400 meetings plus last year?
Yeah, over 400 meetings.
So in our mind,
those are the ones that I actually took
That
time to enter into the Google Calendar.
that's right.
So I went back and I counted them all up, and yeah.
Well, thank you
Busy
so
year.
much. Congratulations, Elly. And Jean-Michel, of course, and he's not here either. He attends a lot of extra meetings in addition to the weekly ones. Keith, congratulations. And Keith is actually, he is the one, he and David both have perfect attendance by just attending the weekly meetings. That's not counting any of their makeups, which they both have numerous ones as well. Congratulations, Keith.
I'm an addict. I'm sorry. I need an intervention.
Yes. And Vicky Horsfield. And Vicky, you know, Vicky and Keith, I can pretty much predict when I open my email on a given day each week, whose attendance form I'm going to see first, because they pretty much do it on the same day, within a day or so of each other. But that's fantastic. And thank you, Vicky. Appreciate your attendance.
Can I make a comment?
You sure can.
I just want to say that, Tammy, you made all the difference to my attendance, because I used to be all over the map and a week would go by and, oh, I forgot it. And then you put out a challenge for everybody to set a specific schedule. And so Monday night is my schedule. And I have to say, I've been doing it on Sunday night now that it comes a little earlier. Yes. But you got me on track. And so it's in my calendar. Every Monday night I do my meeting. So I want to thank you.
Well, that's fantastic. Thank you. And I do know, like, probably 95% of your attendance forms are on those 2 dates you just mentioned. So
and we probably should say, I mean, a lot of this goes to Kitty, because it is really a lot of fun and very informative to go through those meetings. So I mean, it's something that now I just sort of, if I don't do it, as I say, I'm an addict. I feel like I've got to have my fix.
Your
but
fix, yes.
It is a fantastic content that she puts on every week.
That's awesome. And so the next one I'm going to, congratulations, Vicki. The next one I'll present is to someone who joined our club in the fall and has had, it's Irene Maker, and she's had perfect attendances and plus a number of makeups by attending district meetings as well, some on our behalf and some through a committee that she is a member of. And David, of course, as mentioned, David Werrett, and he's not with us this morning. I'm not sure what happened to David. He usually shows up. All right, so that's fantastic. That's the perfect attendance for this year. And I should say our attendance overall this year has gone up. We have lots of members who are attending, maybe not perfectly, but have increased their attendance. And one of the interesting dynamics this year is because SECCO, although they're separate from our club, they are actually counted in our attendance statistics. So it kind of skews things. And because they only go to 2 meetings a month, changes the dynamics again. So I'm actually going to do a little report on that probably for our next board meeting, just so you can see the numbers for attendance.
Can a president ask a question?
Yes, you can.
I'm a little bit remiss because I know I usually attend all of the weekly meetings. I don't actually go in and report the sort of board meetings and stuff. Is that significant? Should I?
Yes, you can put in now.
Should I be doing that, or does it matter?
Well, yes, you can to bank them if you're attending them all. What I've done this year, because for my own benefit, to help the members achieve attendance, I have gone in automatically without makeup forms entered for board meetings, fellowship assemblies,
Oh, good. Okay.
and any other one. So a lot of
Fantastic.
people got credit for those things once a month. So that's at least 2 things a month that you're getting credit for. So really, if you do 1 or 2 meetings, you're going to be almost perfect attendance. That's something to know. I'm going to talk about that in the bulletin coming up or on an email.
Okay.
So you mentioned a few minutes ago, someone mentioned, I think Keith or someone, that it was, easy to do attendance when we have these fantastic newsletters every week, our weekly meetings. So I thought it would be appropriate to present, and unfortunately she can't be with us, she's out of town this week, but I thought we would present Kitty with a certificate of appreciation, and we'll do it at the next coffee chat or whenever she's with us, for producing such excellent content for the online weekly meetings. And one of the goals in our action plan, our strategic plan this year, or starting in 2020, was to improve the weekly meetings, or I guess not improve isn't the right word, to enhance or to maybe change some ideas. We did it as well with the bulletin to ease Jim's workload. We started doing the bulletin through the club runner format that we're doing now. And Kitty and Jim and Elly and I had met back in the fall and come up with some ideas. So Kitty's really excelled in, as you can tell, in that area. And we're getting better with the bulletins, and any feedback anyone has on either of those 2 things is great. We're always looking for new ideas. Now, the next certificate of appreciation I'm going to give out is for someone in our club who has been here from the beginning and doesn't always get a lot of accolades. Maybe I don't think sometimes we understand how many hours are spent behind the scene. And a couple of major events happened in 2021 that I feel are worthy of it. Jim and I have talked about this, and we feel that this person deserves a certificate of appreciation. And that would be Elly, our past district governor, Elly. Not only is her leadership for start of the district conference, she was a driving force with that, and Jim's right hand for quite a while until things moved to a different platform. And also for her initiative to establish a satellite club. Several of us have helped with that, but Elly is the one who had the idea. She's been the driving force. She continues to be the mentor to these young global professionals. And several of them wanted to be here today, but were not able. And I'm sure they'll reach out to you, Elly. I told them what was happening. So congratulations. I think that's fantastic. So let's have a round for Elly. Okay, so I thought we might just brainstorm for a couple of minutes if there's any topics or ideas or comments you want to tell us about that you'd like to see included maybe in the monthly assemblies for 2021-22. And I'm just going to stop this for a minute. Oh, there's David. I'll just let him join.
He's been waiting in the waiting room for 20 minutes.
No, yes.
Hello, David.
Hey, David.
Your ears must have been burning. We were talking about you. Oh, he's gone again.
Maybe he's having connection issues too. I'll see if he comes back. So yeah, so if anyone has any thoughts, comments, ideas, suggestions, we're working on the schedule for this year for 2021-22 for.
I've been thinking, I have an idea. Well, I have a thought. I've been thinking about the new RI stream of the environmental impact and the environmental, looking at environmental projects and things like that. So I don't know if that'd be something that we might consider for a fellowship speaker, somebody to talk about some of the environmental issues, maybe even in Canada. that we might want to talk about or hear about.
Okay.
Might be a future fundraiser for us or a future project down the road.
Okay, great. I'll make notes here.
Vicky's
Thank you.
got her hand up as well.
Vicky, go ahead.
On a support path, because now that RI has taken environment on as one of the Rotary challenges, I would like to put it out there to every member in our club that we take on some challenges. And in that inspirational moment in the last bulletin about the fellow who was cleaning up the beaches in Mumbai, there was a thing on there where he worked with a bunch of kids and they had pledges. I pledged to no longer use plastic. I pledged to recycle. I pledged to, and I'm going to use this in our Rotary Interact Club because they have an environmental project. And you know, in our society, we're just so used to using plastic and buying juice in plastic bottles and just plastic. And we really have to work hard at changing our mindset. So I would like to put something in the bulletin where we have a challenge that we commit to 1 or 2 or 3 or 10 of those pledges. And then every time when we put in our attendance, we can make a comment about what we did that week that committed to one of those pledges.
Okay, great idea.
Because we either have to be part of the solution or part of the problem.
Absolutely.
There was somebody in a talk a couple of weeks ago who said we've got 12 years. If we don't do something now and start making major changes in 12 years, there's no going back. And that's really scary.
Very, yes. Keith.
Yeah, I mean, one of the other things that we might consider doing, and I know Bryce and Tammy and I have chatted about it. I mean, Bryce is really keen to get Rotary TV going, sort of, you know, the Rotary channel using his studio and so forth. So I don't know whether we might on a fellowship assembly sort of have that as a topic where we can sort of come up with some ideas, some, you know, commitments, things that we can do to help get that off the ground. I mean, if Bryce is available, it might be one that Bryce could take a relatively active role in and sort of show, you know, I know Bryce has got about 1.5 million ideas on it, but you know, there might be 1 or 2 others that we might come up that he hasn't already come up with that might be useful to try to get that project off the ground.
He could do a pilot show for us.
Actually, we had a really long meeting yesterday, about 4 hours, about this exact topic. So we've kind of started to put like the pilots is the big piece there. We're going to do about a 90-hour commitment for it, and with my team here, and come up with a solid proposal and plan and seed funding and so on and so forth. So we've pretty much put in like our 4 hours yesterday to just kind of formulate what this will look like, its benefits, our target audience, its benefit to RECCO, and then how that's going to reach out to you know, the rest of of Rotary, because we don't feel that it's going to be as effective just staying local. It's going to have to reach international audiences to be effective, and we want to show that RECCO can touch international, and so that's where our conversations went yesterday. And yeah, I've got a big thing that I'm working on proposal wise. Sorry, phone's ringing like off the hook again. A big proposal wise to try and get some of that stuff, but I'll be looking to you guys for some mentorship and some direction too on just what you think will be of value touching projects. I love what Vicky's talking about with the environmental. My wife has really good ties with Rotary Club in Fiji, and that's what they're doing, is they're doing employment jobs for kids to clean beaches, and they're giving, like, and these are kids that are like pretty down and out. They're giving food and water and whatnot to these kids to help them clean beaches. It's kind of like a work for food program, and it's looking really successful. So we learned a lot about that yesterday. And that's something that, you know, one of those stories, you know, that's one of the 35,000 clubs around the world, and, you know, 10, 20,000 projects that are out there. So that RECCO can just shine a light on, because we're digital. so we can shine lights on things and support, and that's pretty cool. So
Great.
yeah.
Good stuff. Irene.
Yeah, this brings to mind, you know, talk about the circular economy. And I mean, there's many ways that we can go about this. ISO and the United Nations talks about the 17 sustainability indicators. And, you know, some of those could be applicable too. So if people are interested, I could introduce them. And I mean, this is all brand new stuff. The circular economy is not simple discussion.
Yeah.
But it's basically talking, especially, you know, the first 9 United Nations sustainability indicators. There's talk about even new municipalities incorporating all of those as they develop. And so, you know, this is building globally. Another thing I'd like to bring up is that, you know, Rotary International has for years focused on the environment. It's just that it's never, you know, had it as a separate topic, because we've always talked about clean water. We've talked about, you know, septic systems. We've, you know, there's lots and lots of projects. And so this is not something that's brand new. It's just, and so I am curious to all this. Yeah.
You know, question, Tammy, if I might, there's always, we always find organizations that are involved in cleaning up the environment, big and small, and there's lots of people taking initiative and things. You know, maybe we need to look for one of those organizations that's already on the ground and doing something, and, you know, partnership with them and help them catapult what they're doing. You know, people that are, you know, we're involved with one organization called Trash Heroes, and they have 30 or 40 chapters around the world where they pick up trash every week. You know, they're sort of maybe at a plateau, and maybe we can, you know, add some energy to organizations such as that, and you know, help them with their hands on the ground.
Right. Sounds good. Well, thanks, Sharon, for introducing that topic. And Vicki, sounds like we all have an interest. Irene and Doug.
Kit has her hand up.
And Kit, go ahead. Sorry, Kit.
Well, and this is the supportive of that and of the working with youth. So those of you who keep track of crazy things in Africa, the Rhino Charge was held this past weekend, which is a 4-wheel adventure in Kenya. And the money goes, I think they raised something over $1 million, goes to habitat, caring for elephants, the land conservation in the Kenyan forests. And it's a crazy thing, but Dieter and I happened to help sponsor one of the vehicles, which was a 1947 Jeep that completed the competition.
Wow.
We ran across this man because he manages the school in a school in the slum. He's a business manager for a school in Nairobi, and we support that one. And now we're going to set it up so that the kids create their own conservation club. What I'm getting to is with this, if you just look at Rhino Charge and, you know, look through it and look at this 2021 or 2019 videos of it, it would be a great way for Rotary to have a Rotary emblem on the Jeep. And just, it's a crazy way to bring attention to conservation. But, you know, we could tie into that. It's an organization that's done this for 32 years. So it's well established and it's highly competitive, but just a crazy way to get some work with Habitat and with kids done.
Great.
Yeah.
Sharon.
So the other thing I wanted to say is we want to make our fellowship assemblies fun as well. So we need to ensure that we have some fun things in there. And we've got the Christmas and we've done the fall potluck. And so just to keep in mind that we need to can't all be serious. We've got to have fun as well. And it's a challenge to do it when you're online, but I think we do a good job.
Yeah.
I think we do a good job.
Exactly.
And of course, we need to no doubt throw in a couple of classification talks probably
Absolutely.
as well.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
And I guess one of the things that you always struggle to get a good balance of is to have guest speakers, and not just for the sake of having a guest speaker, but something that's relevant and someone who's a good speaker and has a topic that's going to attract others to attend, and it's something that we can all learn something from in a positive way. So that's always the challenge too. So if you know of things that we try to work within the Rotary themes throughout the year, the monthly themes. So if you have some suggestions for guest speakers who would be, you know, great presenters and going to teach us something, then we'd love to hear about that too.
We have a pool of young global professionals, and I'm wondering if we could get a speaker from that pool one month, somebody who is working internationally or doing something a little bit different. Be fun to get one of them involved.
I attended their meeting on Saturday. They had their first guest speaker, as you might have read in the bulletin, and I'll tell you, they're definitely finding their way pretty quickly. They're pretty comfortable now with how things are going. You can see their confidence growing each time. I haven't been at one of their meetings in a while. Definitely worth popping into, and you know, they're sharing some membership moments now, kind of what we might consider the old happy buck thing. But Amy shared one of her ideas, or one of the good things that had happened to her that week. So no, Jane has been following them. She's just thinks this is the greatest thing that ever happened. And she and Elly, of course, I know have spoken probably in the past, but she was just so proud of them and encouraging for them to do what they're doing. So
I watched the video, and I must admit I was impressed at how respectful and sort of they were to the speaker, and just
absolutely
wonderful group of guys.
They really are.
Girls,
yeah, and they've increased their member by one more, so, and they have several in the works, so that's all good stuff. David, you missed our presentations for awards, and I wanted to, I'll be sending them to you. Of course.
I'm sorry, the chiropractor was a little late arriving. I've had about an 80-kilometer drive this morning to round and back.
Oh, goodness.
I thought I'd be back by 10. Sorry.
No problem. I knew something must have come up because you're.
It's kind of ironic that you weren't here for your perfect attendance award. Just saying.
Oh, that's funny. Good stuff.
So,
all right. Go ahead.
Just want to jump in with Sharon's idea of fun stuff. And part of this is Katerina, one of the eSatellite Club members. But it would be fun to do like a 5-minute welcome to my chef's kitchen or chef's table, where we all, and particularly where I want to see Angel in the kitchen. Anyway, where we do a meal, or not a meal, but a portion of something. And this came because of Holger Knacht. When he taught us how to do asparagus his way, Dieter and I have done it ever since that way. So it's, you know, it's a 5-minute little, even that, but it might be fun. Welcome to my kitchen, boom.
Awesome. Love it. Hey, anybody else have anything they'd like to share? Okay, I'm going to turn things over to Keith for a minute, and this is the start of his year, and if there's anything he'd like to share with us or motivate us, inspire us, go for it.
Sure, no problem. As Tammy has mentioned, we had our first board meeting this past week, and it went reasonably well. I think there will be some highlights coming up in the bulletin next week, but it was a good start to the year. I'm already thinking, by the way, Bryce, that I'm almost a whole month through my term already, so this is going very, very fast. And I must admit, in the last week of June, I was sitting around occasionally saying, oh my God, I'm going to be president in a week's time. It's going to be a disaster. Things aren't going to happen. Tammy did her best to help with that because there were issues with the bulletin. And when the bulletin didn't come out, I suddenly thought, it was Tammy who was going to do the bulletin, was it? It wasn't supposed to be me. It was supposed to do it. Poor Tammy was on vacation and she gets emails saying, where the hell is the bulletin? kind of things. But after those kind of glitches, because she was traveling, it's settling down, I think, kind of well.
Yeah.
And hopefully it will continue to progress from success to success this year, like we did last year. Obviously, again, she's mentioned that I think the focus for us in the next couple of months is going to end up with a successful sponsorship fundraising effort with the sponsored walk. I know I've had a lot more success in getting people to commit to donate than I expected. I'll share a story on that. I think I told Tammy this. I've got a friend of mine who got me into collecting Inuit art. He's a lawyer with a firm in Toronto, and I met he and his wife in the year that we were all clerking at the Supreme Court of Canada after we all graduated from law school in Canada back in 1979 and 80. His name is Chris Brett, and I sort of emailed a whole bunch of people saying, we're doing this walkathon. I'm president of the club. It would be great if you could sponsor me on the walk. And I got like, and usually when I send an email to Chris, it takes about 3 days for him to find the time to get back to me, but he got back to me immediately and he said, Chris, sorry, he didn't call me Keith. He calls me Fish. Because I'm from the Maritimes and that was my nickname at the Supreme Court of Canada, the Fish. So he says, Fish, I'm not sure if you know this about me, but Rotary paid for my master's degree at Yale. So he was a Rotary Scholar to the United States the same year that I was a Rotary Scholar to Australia. And I've known him for now 40 years, and I did not know that he was a Rotary Scholar to Australia. And he says, when Rotary asks, I know it's my turn to give back. So he's sponsoring me for $500 for the walk.
Wow.
So fantastic kind of input from him. And as I say, I'm doing much better. I had a goal of $1,000, but Chris helped me to well surpass that. So, and I'm still trying to track down some sponsors. But hopefully that will put us on a very, very sound footing for more project work going forward, because it's giving us funds to deal with some projects that we always spend our money on. So that means that our normal attendance donation money can be made available for some other projects that we want to support. So I think I've rabbited on enough about what we're looking forward to for in the immediate future in any event. And obviously, if anybody has any ideas or suggestions, we're always open to receiving them.
Thank you very much for that idea of the walkathon. I think it's a great idea and it's a great way to cross borders. And I've had a pretty good response too, many from past Rotarians. So I'm excited to add more to the coffers as well.
And as we've said before, we've got an additional location for a walk because Tammy is about to disappear to Prince Edward Island, and rather than another walker in Alberta, she's going to be doing her walk in PEI. So it's another location for us in terms of being able to sort of show what an e-club is all about and how it can be in so many different locations sort of at the same time. So.
Well, and Keith, I'm going to be not walking, although I'm supporting Sharon, but I'm going to be cooking because that's what I do. So I'm going to be doing the cookathon and pledging for every hour I cook for other people. There's a pledge to the club.
Oh, so fantastic.
So kind of, it could be another fun thing.
That's an idea. The next year, the cookathon. Hey.
Vicky, did you want to say something?
All right.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, yeah.
A lot of it will be on inclination.
Yes.
Well, maybe you should only have to walk 5 kilometers if it's all uphill, Vicky.
You heard him say that, right, everybody?
Yes.
And Keith, I think I told you that I'm going to be doing my walk with rescue dogs.
Yes, yeah.
I'm going to go to the dog shelter and take out rescue dogs and walk 10Ks with them. Probably
Remember,
2 or 3 at a
we
time.
want pictures from all walkers as well, right? From locations and
Yeah,
where
yeah,
you
I'll send
are,
you
'cause
lots of
we want to
pictures.
be able to do something to sort of show on the website or in the bulletin or whatever that that these people walked in these different locations. Because I think that will help us sort of just again
Mhm.
give a clear indication of, you know,
Yes.
how widespread we are for such a small group of people.
Well, and what I'd love to see is people submit short video clips about part of your walk. Maybe along your walk, you stopped into your local store to pick up, you know, something for supper or whatever, and just do a little clip of that. Just do it on your phone and send it to us. I'll include them in the bulletin if you don't mind sharing. That would be fun to have little clips of that. And I'm sure at some point, if we had enough of them, Bryce could make us a nice little production. So
I love the animation that Kitty put in the weekly meeting, by the way, that little walker in the.
yes, that was fantastic.
Fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're coming towards the end, not quite, but I'm going to ask Jim if he'd like to say anything, kind of putting him on the spot here probably, but I'm sure he's got some thoughts. He's been sitting there pretty quietly. And welcome back to our regular meetings, Jim. It's great to have you again.
Thanks. It's nice to be able to have the time to reconnect with the club again. You know, it's been basically 2 years of a lot of work, a lot of
yes.
So it's nice to have that over with and reconnect with the club. No, I was just thinking too. I just wanted to echo the same remarks that were made about you know, we have a lot of stories, you know, with the walkathon, and send those pictures in, write down a small report or story, send it in, because our e-club, we have the bulletin, we have the weekly meeting. The more stories we have, current stories about what our club is doing, when people say, well, what is it with the Rotary Club of Canada one? What is it they do? You know, we show these stories, and that's what our members are up to. That's how active our members are.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I just wanted to confirm that, I guess,
yep.
As we go out and we do service projects. Take a picture, do up a short write-up, send it in to Kitty or, you know, to Tammy, and then you can do it. So that's my thoughts so far this morning. The coffee hasn't kicked in.
Yeah.
Operating on about 2 watts of energy.
Yes, like exactly. You know, Bryce and Keith and I chatted last week for a few minutes, and Bryce has received, I know Jim did, I did too. We received a lot of emails after the Jim's changeover event that we hosted about how innovative our club is and how we just always seem to be one step ahead of everybody else. And they're always saying, okay, what's that club going to do next? So, you know, we just have to keep that level up there. We're doing a great job. So let's just keep motivated and keep doing it. And it's so nice to have the expertise of Bryce now is going to be our president-elect this year. And I think we're just going to go places even further than we've been.
Yeah, and Tammy, I'd have to say too, is our e-club is pushing Rotary a little bit.
Yes, we have.
You know, because they're so used to doing things a certain way.
Yep.
But
Exactly.
No, can't be.
No, we push them a little bit,
yes.
like the Ryla and the Riley.
Yes.
Well, I mean, there's students that want to attend online, right?
Exactly.
So
yeah.
They're ready to do it a certain way, and they modified it a bit.
Yes.
So,
yeah, I'm sure there are people at district, Jim, that every time they get an email from somebody, they roll their eyes and say, oh God, what are they going to complain about now?
Well, and an interesting comment that was made about because of the way we did the changeover, that it was timed, it flowed really nicely. One of the people that I spoke to said, you know, when I was sitting there logging on, I was thinking, oh dear God, so-and-so just signed on. Hope they don't get the mic. It'll be 10 minutes over because they like to ramble on. So we, you know, not that we don't want to hear from other Rotarians, but there is a time and a place, and it's nice to have done, like Bryce did an excellent job of putting that stuff together. I just kept feeding him things, and it just really worked well. We enjoyed doing it together, and it's a format that I think they want to see continue for future events like that. Most people's attention span is an hour, and that's about it. So anyways, I don't have anything more in the program. We've given out our awards. I'm so happy with the turnout this morning, and it's been a great year. Love working with all of you. Look forward to supporting Keith this year as we continue driving. As I said, we're driving the bus down the road. We're staying on the pavement. Let's not go into the ditch. So let's do it. David.
Well, my apologies again, but I did pry a sponsorship out of the chiropractic. So.
That's a fantastic.
That was worth the drive.
Yes.
Okay, you're excused for being late then, David.
Irene.
I've just gotten, I'm just planning my walk. So I'm talking to a bunch of friends. So it'll either be something historical, but Doug, your idea of walking with rescue dogs is a really good idea.
It is.
Because we have an RCMP training or a police dog training institute in Alberta. They might actually go for that as well. So really good ideas today. So
I think that just adds another element.
Yeah. You're killing two birds with one stone as well, right? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, doing a bit of service while raising funds. So it's good. Yeah.
And I want to say, well, welcome to Nance. She's interested in joining our club, as you've noticed by the email that went out. So we're looking forward to inducting her down the road. And thank you for showing up at these events. It's a great way to get into our club. We're very social, so we appreciate that you start off by that. I also had a quick note from Ethan this morning. His flight got changed at the last minute. He was looking forward to being here. He's really motivated to be involved this year. So it's awesome. Okay, that's about it. I'm going to end the recording. If anybody wants to stay and chat, go for it.
Goodbye, everyone. It was nice to
Hi.